So over this period of time, what would you consider your greatest regret? Do you have any regrets?
I think going back to summer of '76, I wish I had taken more photographs than I did. Now, Dan Burton went out on the trail and took some marvelous pictures, but I wish I had spent a little more time on the trail. And likewise, I wish I had kept a better photographic record of things since '76, especially the open road gallery pictures. I didn't start that till '82, so there were several years there where there was no record, and just general more photography. And I wish I also, although I collect a lot of materials for archiving, I wish I'd come up with a better system for actually archiving them. Because right now the archive is very scattered and unorganized.
Well, you still have time to do more work on the archives.
Yeah, I think of the archives as not something that I'm going to walk away from, but on into the future, I think I'd like to pay attention to it and maybe spend some volunteer time just putting it in proper order.
So what do you think your greatest achievements have been? Not just bike centennial, adventure cycling, cycling in general. What do you think your contribution to cycling, particularly in America, has been, and do you think there's a legacy there?
Well, there are three areas, three big things that I was a part of that started. One was TUSRV, the big mass participation weekend bike ride that my father and I started. And we started that when there were no events like that. And it was copied.
And the first one...
It was in 1962.
It was tour of the Scioto River Valley in Ohio.
Right. And people were flocking to do this, coming from Chicago, for example. I remember when the first people came from Chicago because there wasn't anything else like that. And it grew, but then these people would say, well, why don't we start something like that here? And a lot of the big mass participation rides that are so popular today have their roots in TUSRV. And then there was Hem's Tour, this expedition-style 2.5-year bicycle tour with that article in National Geographic, and it really brought this story of bicycle travel into the living rooms of average Americans. The circulation of the magazine, National Geographic, was around 8 million then, and a lot of people, this is the first thing they ever saw. It made it, wow, you can do this.
8 million?
Yeah, I think that was a circulation.
That's a staggering number.
Yes.
Especially as today, and in today's world where things are, there's so much specialty, and National Geographic's audience, I'm sure, has shrunk, but 8 million, that's an amazing number.
So that was an important point, something that had a lot of influence on the way bicycling has gone. And then finally there was Bike Centennial that had very high visibility, and many people just read about this. It was mostly print media then, and I think it made a big difference in the direction that bicycle touring has gone, even just generally bicycling has gone in this country.
So what do you think you've obviously had a major role in Bike Centennial and Adventure Cycling Association. What do you think the greatest achievement of the organization as a whole has been?
I think the establishment of the route network. That would be it. And I think the magazine really has been an important part of it too.